if I get the rhythm right, I can keep like a metronome time signature with my dick. Yeah.
Nice. That's impressive. Cheers.
Yeah.
Hump day. We're here.
Yeah. You just got off work.
I did. Manageable day, slow, like, easy, go with the flow kind of day.
Like accounting? Is that what you do? Counting?
No, I don't do accounting. I do like more event production, some admin. I write our newsletters.
Where? Where are we talking about right now? Because we haven't introduced what we're talking about.
Oh, trick question. Trick question. Oasis Aqua Lounge.
Okay. What's that? I mean, I know what that is, but I want to hear it from you.
Okay. So Oasis Aqua Lounge is a water-themed, clothing optional, adult playground for consenting adults 19 plus.
Jungle gym and seesaw.
Something like a seesaw, but more like a sex swing.
There is something. It's just like a seesaw.
Yeah. That actually sounds pretty hot. We actually don't have a seesaw, but I can imagine a seesaw with a dildo in each end. And I think that could work really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have that yet, though, but I think that needs to be added to the playground.
It reminds me of an Always Sunny in Philadelphia gag where Mac has like a workout bike with the... I'll insert a clip here.
Okay, yeah.
So the one thing I love about it is there's a huge heated pool in the back.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Like a giant hot tub.
I like it when I arrive there and it's totally quiet and we just open. We're not open to the public yet. Yeah. And I'll do like a couple of laps.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. I find when you're in the pool, you're in the pool. Like, that's your look for the night. It's that and a towel. But I like to dress up for things.
Yeah.
So if I find like, if I have to take off all these layers and then get wet and then be cold and then have to dry off. And so I tend to be more out of the pool than I am in the pool.
But honestly, I don't really get cold coming out of that water. It's so hot. It's like coming out of a hot tub.
No, definitely.
You jump in the snow.
Yeah.
You can roll around. You're all right for a while.
Yeah. Luckily, there's no snow on the pool deck. The heat from the pool will just sort of melt everything around it, which is actually so beautiful because you get that steamy look. It's almost like a hot springs.
Yeah, it is like a hot springs for sure. Speaking of events, I played the open mic the other day.
I heard you're a crooner.
I am a crooner.
I heard from one of the aquafers, she was like, I heard Brian sing, and she was like, it just did something to me. Like, yeah.
No, it's a very special, very odd thing to do. Okay, so if there's any musicians out there, when I heard there was an open mic at Oasis, an open mic playing and singing naked.
Yeah.
A drop towel, and just in between songs. So everyone can see my dick? Everyone see my dick? Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll play the next song. I'll play the next song.
Check one, check. Yeah.
Hey, stupid jerk! I'm singing a song here.
Well, the thing too is that it is clothing optional too, right? So you can do it naked. You don't have to do it naked, but there's always the option, and that's like pretty wild.
But for the entertainment value,
it's better.
yeah. And if I get the rhythm right, I can keep like a metronome time signature with my dick. Yeah.
Nice. That's impressive.
Well, it's silly and it's fun and it's innocent, in its own right. We're all adults here, but it's supposed to be silly. And honestly, the other performers too, like I find it so entertaining. I find some of them so entertaining, and they're all very comfortable being on stage because you kind of have to be if you're going to get naked on stage.
Oh, for sure. But it's such a great, like, supportive environment too. And I love these types of events that we have because they are silly and they do kind of like, get you out of your head and just like make you relax in this like really supportive, body positive, encouraging, liberating environment where you can just like be in your naked body. Yeah. And it's not about like, how you have to look in your naked body or you have to turn people on or supposed to, and doing things like open mic or naked karaoke or naked yoga just like puts you in your body in a really like normalized way.
It's not sexual to be naked.
No.
No.
And
so Hamlet's Point, you ever been out to Hamlet's Point?
I love Hamlet's. Oh my god, yes.
It normalizes nudity. I don't think everyone should be walking around naked in public. I get the concept of wearing clothing.
Yeah. Well, also too, I think depending on your gender and your gender experience, it's really great that like women can walk around topless in Ontario.
Sure.
Since what was it? I think like 1995.
Oh yeah.
Or something like that. I remember when that happened, and I remember me and my girlfriends, like we were in university, and we were laying naked, or not naked, topless on our deck, owned by our landlord, and it was just like he was just circling around. And so you know, it's great to have a clothing optional space in an environment that's also safe and like, monitored. Because unfortunately, like as much as it's great to be free, and Handlands is also a really safe, awesome, positive space. Like our world just isn't like that, and that's why it's great to have places like Oasis.
Yeah, you gotta follow the rules because as soon as you just even slight the rules a little bit, you're out. I love that.
Really a no nonsense kind of like approach to it, and because when you arrive to the club and they read you the waiver, like they read it to your face, like the reason that you don't just read it off online and then sign it digitally is because they want to make sure you're paying attention. Yeah. So you're being told very explicitly, you know, what is allowed here. Consent is sexy.
Oh,
sexy
absolutely.
is consent.
You want them to say yes. If they don't, it's cool, man. There's someone else out there for you, you know?
Yeah.
It's cool. There's a lot of people out there.
And also learning rejection. You know, I feel like we don't talk enough about that. And maybe that's something we could talk more about at Oasis. You know, if you are coming there with a certain agenda, like, you probably will be disappointed because if you enter any type of space with any type of expectation, like that's probably not going to happen, you know?
For the first few times, I would agree. It can be overwhelming to see all this stimulation, you know?
Yeah. DTF. DTF events. For sure. You know, but that is like, that's really fun too. So you have, you know, the open mic, which is like fun, sexy and innocent and open and then you have like the, you know, the hardcore DTF and the bukkake and like, I love all of the ranges of that.
Yeah. DTF is an interesting one. I've been to it many, many times. For women that love the company of multiple men.
Yeah, that's what the tagline is. For women who love the company of multiple men.
Yeah.
What I liked about going to DTF, especially just pre-pandemic, like 2019, because like that's when we had lineups all the way to Carlton for both dates. Yeah. And it was just like everybody was there. I kind of went mainly to socialize. I there's a couple times where I did get in the mix, but like you could just see everybody because it had gained so much momentum.
Details. No,
yeah.
I'm just joking. That's all right. You know what I would encourage anybody out there is if they were like curious about what we're talking about is like just go. Yeah. You're not obligated to do anything you don't want to do. If you just want to take yourself out of your comfort zone, go somewhere and just watch. Yeah. Watch people get freaky. Just go and just watch what happens. Observe. Yeah. You know, but go in the pool too. It's beautiful. It's like you come out of there so relaxed. Like I'm so relaxed.
Yeah. And then you do the hot tub and then you do the dry sauna circuit.
And sauna.
Right? Yeah. So you can do the whole water therapy thing, right?
For sure. Yeah. But then you can watch someone get effed in a swing, you know? Yeah. It's like...
Or on stage, or you know?
You know what's wild? I've lived here for 12 years. It's very close. I never went until about like a year and a half ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. So what is it that brought you in the door?
Well, my girlfriend started dancing there. And that's what got me in the door. Oh. I thought about it many times. Like I see it every day. It's like so close to me. Yeah. I thought about it many times, but I never did it.
So what was stopping you? Like, what was just your kind of like, what was just like...
I wasn't a stranger to the scene. Okay. Like, I had a lot of experiences in that kind of scene.
So your experiences were maybe more like private parties or things like that? Okay.
Yeah. And it was, you know, intriguing to walk in there and go, oh, wow, okay, so this is what this is about. This is about...
What was your first, like, impression, like, walking in the door? Like,
I would say for anyone... it'll be subtly overwhelming. I mean, I'm very accustomed to nudity and I've been a comfortable naked person my whole life. So it's probably less overwhelming for me than it would be for the average person. Yeah. But, you know, of course it's a little overwhelming. It takes you right out of your normal life. Yeah. Like it takes you absolutely out of your like standard, like I went to work today, I went home. I'm like,
how did I ever lose my life? I think it's so normal to me, but I'm like, I'm just like, I feel like I'm in an alternate reality, but like, it's great. I'm happy to be, this is a good reality for me.
Because I'm confined to these clothes, you know, they're awesome. They look great on me.
They look comfortable.
Yeah, they're comfy, you know, and I feel comfortable on the TTC in these clothes for sure. but I don't know how comfortable I'd be naked on TTC. You know, because you're gonna get a lot of looks. You get a lot of looks.
Oh my god!
You will make it to BlogTO. You're gonna hear all about it.
You'll be on CP24, BlogTO, Narcity.
Oh yeah.
You know,
really good looking man just walked on TTC naked for some reason.
Belts into song.
Yeah,
the song that you sang for open mic.
He played some songs. You know what?
And then he did the metronome.
5 stars. Yeah, then he did the metronome, and that's what made the news. They blurred it, but you could get a sense of how big it was.
Yeah. I hope Oasis Aqua gets into that article because I feel like that would be such a clickbait. I'm just let's sneak Oasis into that.
So, details, stories.
Okay.
Give me something.
All right. So at one point, this is pre-pandemic, we had purchased a sex doll, which we named Aquabella. And there was a marketing meeting about it where we did a round table of brainstorming on what to name this sex doll that we had been custom made. The name ended up being Aquabella because, Oasis Aqua Flirts, Aqua Lounge, right? So first of all, Aquabella had been purchased by the founders of the club.
Yeah.
And they were in California. Where they picked it up. I think it was California Dolls. I forget. It's a big company. It's a well-known company. And we had this idea that we would pretend that Aquabella was actually a staff member that had been hired from California. Because she's realistic looking. Okay. And she was going to take a trip from California because they took a road trip. And they were just going to, take pictures of her along the way. We had a Twitter for her. We had a Twitter. We had a FetLife. We had I don't know if we had an Instagram. But yeah, I think we had a Facebook
Popular
for her.
girl.
So they're, the founders are sending me pictures, and I'm creating this story of Aquabella, just was looking at the beach or on her way to Toronto, so excited. So then she's going to arrive, and she's supposed to be the newest Aqua Flirt, which for people who don't know are our event hosts. They're the people that greet new guests into the club, give them tours, just really, make people feel warm and welcome and comfortable and help run the events and things like that. So what we were going to do once Aquabella arrived in Toronto is that we were going to do a special spectator sex show with her. So the idea is that we're going to unveil this doll that's actually not a real person. And so I, at the time, decided that I was going to be the person to fuck Aquabella.
Oh, wow.
So how that happened was at that time, I had a girlfriend, and her and I had at that particular time had, for the most part, a monogamous relationship.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't performing or doing anything in the lifestyle, which at the time was fine for me. But I had this opportunity, and I was like, I'm going to fuck this doll. And you're just going to have to be okay with it because it's a doll and it's fine. And I think it's performance art, and it's just it goes beyond. It's just this is something I think would be really cool to do. I get the blessing. And so I do so we get the doll in Toronto. And the other fun thing about this story is when she's brought into the club, I think it was somebody who was working security or a manager that was really a strong person, right? Helped carry this doll into the club.
Yeah.
So it's a life-size human-looking doll. She's over this guy's shoulder. He's carrying her in. I don't know how many hours had passed, but we get a call from the police. And they're just hey, we just, there was a witness that saw something. What is what's the story? We're just, we need to follow up with this. And it's a doll. So anyway, that was funny. So we bring her up, and so day of spectator sex show. It was an afternoon show. So because I didn't necessarily want a giant crowd. I kind of want to just test her out, break her in.
Yeah. Was it a giant crowd? How many people?
There was it was afternoon. So let's say maybe 10, 12, right?
Okay.
A bunch of, and
that's enough.
Yeah. So I had an idea what I was going to do with her. So I had a little mini bullet vibe that I was going to put in her mouth because she had a tongue. I could pull it out.
So was it, Libby? Okay.
Yeah, we have to back back. I'm sure.
Was it was it weird a little bit? Was it weird?
So for me, it wasn't weird because I saw this. So I'm very big on sexual performance art.
Oh yeah,
the shows that I've done at Oasis, and I haven't done a lot of them, but there's a couple that I've done there. We can get into it.
I got you.
I really put a lot into just the theatrics of it.
Yeah.
And because I wasn't fucking other people, this was like a way for me to express me fucking that wasn't my girlfriend. At the time. So I could express my sexuality in a way that was like interesting to me, in a different way than having sex with my partner. But that also kind of fit in. So like that's how I kind of thought about it.
You had a hall pass.
Yeah. Well, I demanded the hall pass. I was just like, it's a doll.
When was this? When are we talking?
Oh gosh, 2017 or something like that. But I said to my partner, I'm doing this. If you want to watch it, you can come watch it. If you don't want to watch it, that's okay. You don't have to watch it. So I get on stage and my partner comes in through the door and she's like, here, I'm here to help you. So she gets on stage with me and she helps me prop her up. Like at one point I put a strap on Aquabella and like, you know, my partner helps me put that on. So she's kind of the prop, like the prop person, you know,
the prop master.
And I thought that was just such a beautiful moment also because it was just like, okay, I understand that you want to express your sexuality outside of our relationship and like you're doing it this way and I'm not sure how to be involved, but this is how I'm going to involve myself. And I thought that was really cool of her to do.
For sure.
And also super surprising because I didn't expect her. She just showed up.
You had a threesome.
Yeah, we had a threesome in this really different kind of way, right?
Yeah.
So the reviews of it were like really divided. It was like really cool or just like really fucking weird. Because like we would get at that time, we don't really do it anymore, but like we'd have like daily spectator sex shows.
Yeah.
Like, or not like daily, but like weekly. Like,
yeah, okay.
Which is, it's a lot. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
It's a lot. I mean, exhibitionists out there, please contact me.
Hey.
We always need exhibitionists.
DM.
Yeah.
DM
me.
Raging Rooster Pod. You want to get naked?
Not DP, DM.
DP. Or DP, whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know? Whatever
DM.
you're into.
DM's good. You know, we would get like comments on the shows, right? Any show that would happen. It was like really good or like really fucking weird. You know what I mean? I just felt like I thought this was a really cool sex positive thing to do. And some people didn't think that because it was a doll. But I was like,
interesting.
But I just kind of saw it as something really cool and visual.
Yeah, totally.
Like I've never made a porn with me in it. But if I did, I think like doing shit to a doll or like, you know, me and my partner doing something like I just think that would be fun to like interpret, like,
totally,
you know.
Yeah, just do it.
And I think Oasis like can like fosters those types of like fantasies and stuff too, because it's not just about, you know, I mean it can be, you know, your run of the mill like, oh, I want to have a threesome or I've never done this or I want to try that. But I mean it also kind of fosters like a lot of like creative vision in terms of like how you can express your sexuality, which I feel like is unique to our club.
I think it's great. I think it's amazing because everyone out there has stuff inside them that they know it's there and they've just, they like, you know, the thing is, this is it. You only live for so long.
Yeah.
You're only alive on this planet for so long. Yeah. What do you want to do before you're dead?
Yeah. The other thing too, so for me, I'm perimenopausal, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, do not want my libido to end.
Exactly.
Or, you know, I like, that's a thing for me. And like somebody, you know, my age. And it's just like, I want to take advantage of these experiences while I'm like hot, wet, juicy. And I want to be, I'm going to take the hormones if I need to. I'm going to like, you know, total like Jane Fonda.
Yeah.
You know, I really like her approach to like menopause and sexuality and stuff like that. Yeah. So I like, yeah, you're right. Like you only have
so long.
And like healthy sexuality is like an appetite, right?
Eat healthy.
Yeah.
As long as you have an appetite.
Eat pussy.
Eat pussy.
You know, I mean, like as long as you, like if you have that appetite, like I feel like it's a real life force. Yeah. And like I never want to lose that appetite. No. So it's like I want to take advantage of these experiences. Like obviously within the context, like I'm in a monogamous relationship as well. So now too. So like I, within the context of fantasy, within like our realm of things, right? And like, I never want to let that fall by the wayside. Oasis is really great like that. Like, it's really empowering forms of like, of sexuality.
Acceptance and sexuality.
Yeah. That was like a new experience for me to be in an environment that was really like playful and fun and healthy and accepting. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, that's like something that was very new for me to be a part of. So I feel so grateful to be a part of that world, which is like how the world should be, you know?
I know, I totally agree. And I would encourage everyone to, if it's a nude beach, if it's Oasis Aqua Lounge, just go get naked in front of other people and observe. And you know what? If you're vibing with someone, go, hey, you're really hot. Like, you want to make out a little? See what happens?
May I make out with... No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't have to be that formal. May I ask to make out with you?
But exactly, like, totally. And they could say no and be like, oh, that's cool, that's cool. There's lots of people out here, you know? But if they do, and you happen to, like, make out and then maybe do some real freaky stuff upstairs...
It's like,
you know, you'll never forget it.
It's
Your
such a
whole
confidence
life, you'll
booster
never forget
too.
it.
Like when you ask for what you want, and like, you know, of course, getting what you want when you ask is always like the ideal thing. But like asking for what you want and then a situation happening that's like ideal and positive is so empowering. To like, I have a voice. I can say what I want. I can ask for what I want. I may not get it every time, but I know that I can ask, and sometimes good things will happen because I put myself out there. And I think a big thing. People are just like, well, how do I, you know, basically, how do I get laid there, you know?
That's it.
But it's really is kind of in your hands.
It is.
We give you the tools. We help you break the ice. Yeah. That's what our icebreakers are for. That's what our events are for. That's why we have them. Yeah. You know, we want to inspire, let you lose the nerves. But at the same time, you have to take the reins.
Get out of there. Get there. So if you want to see this ass dancing at Oasis Aqua Lounge, Stiletto Thunderkiss puts on an unbelievable show.
It is unbelievable. And honestly, like the comments that we get from the staff, the guests, everybody, like unbelievable.
You know, I was born on stage. I went to performing arts high school. I can always read an audience. And so when I'm in the audience, and I can read the audience, they're captivated. And I'm always aware of when someone's captivated like that, because they all, you know, they're shouting. But anytime it's quiet, it's because they're
captivated.
Focused.
For sure. I mean, it's just like the freedom of the body. Like there's just like this, like abandon of movement.
But also,
like that's really like really like and sexually empowered.
She's a seasoned professional dancer. You know, and like she expresses herself with her body.
Yeah.
She's very, very good.
Yeah.
Would recommend.
Absolutely. 100%.
How's that for an endorsement?
You would do all that.
How long has it been open for? 13?
So 2010.
14 years.
Oh, yeah, going 14 years. Yeah. So our anniversary is always the end of November.
Yeah, my birthday. Sweet.
Is it? Oh, Scorpios.
I'm a Scorpio. Yeah. No, I'm the 19th. Yeah.
I joined in 2012. And like when I became a part of the business, it still wasn't open every day. There was gaps on the calendar and stuff like that. It was still like building. And
do you remember Wicked?
I do remember Wicked.
Yeah.
So pre-Oasis, I was in event management at George Brown. And I had the opportunity to meet with some people at Wicked and organize a networking event of sorts. And that didn't happen, but I had encountered like the Wicked, like Shlomo and the previous owners.
Yeah.
But I actually went to the second location, which was on the East End. So think like Queen and Sherborne area.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a little...
So Queen and Sherborne.
Yeah, it was a little... It was intense.
A little rough.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm having a memory about this now.
But
that's
the
wild.
Wicked too.
Yeah.
At the time I had like made friends with this like couple and like their girlfriend, and they seemed really cool, and they were
unicorn. Unicorn.
Well, I felt like that was like the second year. Like I was like, why am I here? Like I felt like they already had the unicorn. I was like, okay. I didn't really know where to place myself in a situation.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I went, and they were very cool. They're like on the level. And so we went there, and it was nice inside. It was nice.
Yeah.
Wicked, honestly, you know, they kind of did put this on the map for Toronto. Yeah. Because the first like sex club, swingers club, was L'Orange in Montreal. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong.
No.
L'Orange.
Yeah.
And they had actually won the Supreme Court battle for sex clubs to exist and to not be categorized as bawdy houses, brothels.
Yeah.
So like that had put that on the map for Montreal, but Wicked really, because Wicked was sort of the prototype for, you know, these other clubs to emerge. So even though, you know, their model didn't last, it was definitely hyped up. Like everybody was talking about Wicked when it opened.
Yeah.
And then when Oasis Aqua Lounge was introduced, people were like, oh, is that like Wicked? because they had a reference.
Yeah.
So Wicked has its place. I think all these businesses have their place.
Yeah.
Whether their models are different or maybe they're not what you agree with or whatever, they all have their place in a really niche business that needs to be legitimized because, again, like there's a lot of forms of sexuality that are not going to be safe in the world that we live in. So to have these spaces is really important.
Totally.
So
Absolutely.
I think you have to kind of look at it in like a really holistic way and realize that it all adds legitimacy in its own way.
It's an outlet for people that wouldn't normally be there. That's what I see.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah, of course you're going to get people that should not be in that space, but you're going to get that in every fucking space that exists in the world.
And that's
you
why...
cannot weed out bad people.
Yeah, and that's why the bouncers there are the best in the business.
Our security is really great.
Best in the business.
They're really great. They're really on top of it.
You're gonna be an asshole? See you later.
Our security is the best to deal with.
Yeah.
You're going to be an asshole. Yeah. We will remember you until the end of time.
See you later.
Yeah. And we'll do it with a smile. Well, I won't, but they'll do it with a smile on their face.
No, honestly, I saw one guy get kicked out once, and I took something from it. I was like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Get out of here, because I heard what they were trying to do. It's just like trying to touch you can't grab anybody.
Especially when you're told.
Yeah. You're not supposed to do that.
But I think that people, people will come into, nightclubs or dance clubs or, spaces and kind of act like a douchebag, right?
Yeah, totally.
And like take liberties. And then you add the entitlement on top of like admission, right? So some people are like, oh, I paid $100 or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, but those are the people that are never going to change. They're going to be an asshole wherever they go.
Yep.
They are not welcome in Oasis, and they shouldn't be welcome anywhere else.
Is it nature or nurture? Were they born assholes, or were they
I don't know.
brought up as assholes? Like,
no, I think
bad
nurture.
parenting, or are they born this way?
I think it's 90% nurture and then 10% nature, and those are like the true like serial killers. Those are like the true, like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Watch a movie. Take some pictures.
But that's like a 10%er, I just feel like it's really nurture, but we don't care. We don't care about our business. We're just like, get out. Like, sorry.
It's a whole other thing we're getting into now, though.
All right. Oh, I thought we were going to high five for a second.
That's good. High five. Hey.
Hey.